I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Michael Cohen has secured a big victory in the federal lawsuit where Donald Trump sued Michael Cohen for $500 million, but where Donald Trump is too afraid to show up for a deposition that Michael Cohen's lawyers want to take of Donald Trump. Hey, you sued Cohen for $500 million. Well, Cohen wants to depose you and ask some questions. Well, we previously reported that the federal judge set an October 3rd, 2023 deposition date, but then Donald Trump's lawyers stopped responding to Michael Cohen's lawyers when Michael Cohen's lawyers said, look, we need a time and a location for the deposition, and we should agree to some basic ground rules to streamline this process. Donald Trump's lawyers did not respond to that. Michael Cohen had to go to court again to compel Donald Trump's deposition, and the federal judge ordered that the deposition will take place for 9 hours. Now, let me repeat that. Michael Cohen will get to take a 9-hour deposition of Donald Trump, and the location of it and the time when it starts, Michael Cohen now gets to decide that fully within Cohen's discretion because Donald Trump refused to respond. Donald Trump's lawyers refused to respond when Michael Cohen's lawyers tried to schedule this and act like professionals. So I want to hear about this big win directly from Michael Cohen. I'm sure you want to hear from Cohen as well. This is from Political Beatdown, where Cohen shares exclusively with us this big court win he's secured. And he also tells us how the most important way Donald Trump can be held accountable right now is through the courts. Michael Cohen, take it away.
There's only one way within which to hold Donald Trump accountable, and that is through the court system. We've now seen, I held him accountable. It took me 4 years in order to bring his ass to the courthouse for the sole purpose of getting him to pay legal bills that I incurred on his behalf that I was responsible for. We also see, as an example, the $500 million lawsuit that Trump filed against me in the Southern District of Miami. And to those of you who continue to donate and who have shared with friends the GoFundMe button and so on, I can't thank you enough, because as a result of it, I have the best 2 attorneys and their team that you can imagine. We are holding him to accountability. He is now, on October 3rd, he is going to have to sit, not whether he wants to or not. He must appear at the designated location that we are choosing. He refused, and his lawyers refused to even meet and confer. So the court gave us the ability within which to decide.
Wow.
Now, I'm not going to disclose it for safety and precautionary reasons. I don't want to see, any of that stuff go on. But what I will say is that he has to appear at the location and at the time that we designate, and we have him for a minimum of 9 hours, for a maximum of 9 hours. I don't know how he intends to sit. Forget about 9 hours. The guy has the attention span of a peanut. There's no way in the world that the guy can answer the questions that we're already working on, simply because, and I'm going to use his words again, he needs to bring in another lawyer, as he did, because some of the questions concern him that by answering them could implicate him in another case that he's currently involved in, and therefore needs counsel to direct him to take the fifth. So again, I want to sort of talk about for a split second the unusual nature of this type of a scenario. Have you ever really heard of somebody taking the fifth in a civil case that they are the plaintiff on? And the answer is no. The answer is no. I don't even know how one could think of another scenario outside of this where something like this would even happen. The point I'm trying to make here is the only way to hold Donald Trump accountable is not just doing what Ben and I are doing, not just what other podcasters on the on the MeidasTouch network are doing. It's not just, the folks that I have on Mea Culpa podcast doing. It is what all of us are doing. We are spreading the word again, and then again, in order to ensure that these people who are supporters of him start to understand that they cannot just continue to regurgitate the lies that are coming out of the MAGA right wing of the party. All right. It just can't happen. And as a direct result of brave people like Tish James, like Alvin Bragg, like Jack Smith, right? Like Fani Willis. All right. And just as an example, in the Attorney General's case here in New York that starts on October 2nd, there is an exhibit out there. 57 witnesses are being subpoenaed by the Attorney General to testify in this baseline of $250 million case that I expect to see coming closer to the $600-700 million range. That's how you hold Donald Trump accountable. You don't only put his ass on the stand and ensure that he is held accountable for his dirty deeds, but you make him financially pay for it, whether it's going to be monetarily or with his freedom. It's exactly what E. Jean Carroll is doing through her competent counsel, Robbie Kaplan. All right. These are all the ways that are needed in order to hold this guy accountable. And the hope is that by finally putting an end to Trump's continuous reign of terror, that it will destroy MAGA, that together this brigade, will change the outcome of the 2024 election, have the blue tsunami that we all need, and ensure that this MAGA ideology is stuffed back into the box where it belongs, buried deep into fucking concrete, and never to be able to be opened ever again. Because that's the America that our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and generations to come absolutely deserve.
That's big breaking news, though, Michael Cohen, that the federal judge in this $500 million frivolous lawsuit, but nonetheless a huge dollar amount Donald Trump is suing you for, has ordered Donald Trump to now show up for a 9-hour deposition. Let me say that again, 9-hour deposition. And because Donald Trump and his lawyer refused to get back to your legal team on a date and time, the federal judge said, you know what? Now Michael Cohen and his lawyers get to decide the place and time, and they will get 9 hours with you on October 3rd. That is a big order. When was that order handed down, Michael Cohen?
That came down, that decision came down yesterday.
That is big, and I haven't seen that reported anywhere else. And also, do you still have a motion pending on the document production where Trump only turned over about 100 documents in this whole $500 million case? Trump saying there's only 2 witnesses, him and you, and then he turned over 100 documents, and because you have.
Well, he turned over 200, but 100. Yeah, he turned over 200, but 100 of them were duplicative. Correct.
Yeah. So what's the status of the motion to compel on the documents?
So there were 4 motions that were before the judge. 2 of them were decided, one of which I just expressed. The 2 additional are still pending, and we're waiting for decisions. But I expect that we will get decisions on all 4 by no later than tomorrow. So I will be reporting them. I will be reporting them first here to the brigade on Tuesday when we see each other again.
There you have it, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the Political Beatdown podcast wherever podcasts are available. And if you want to support the Political Beatdown show, you could get to meet Michael Cohen. We just held a Zoom meeting where Michael Cohen met everybody who joined the Beatdown Club. Go to patreon.com/political beatdown, patreon.com/political beatdown. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.